All right, let me show you some of the ideas I'm using there. I want to think about ways to spice up your basic blues. All right, so oftentimes that can get kind of boring, right? Just kind of chugging along on that basic boogie-woogie pattern. So the first thing we could do is add in a cool variation, just this little thing. So here I have G, G sharp, into my root E, or to my B there. And if you notice, I am flattening out my first finger here to kind of cover the E chord. I'm not really going above that fourth string. Right? So now I can do the same exact thing on my A chord. 4 chord, of course. Right? So this is just a cool little variation. It sounds really great before the change or the end of a smaller phrase, so like a 2-bar phrase. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and... So that's a little variation, right? And your 5 chord. We could do the stretch, which is kind of a pain in the butt, right? So I'm gonna have this B, E F sharp, and I'm gonna play the G sharp with the stretch, which is kind of, I mean, it's cool. And there I'd actually use my third finger and slide from the D to the D sharp, and then get that the upper half of your B triad right there. Right, so that's one thing we could do. We could do that B like that. Now, something I like to do to add more excitement to the blues as well was the thing I played in the intro there. So that first lick there, I have basically an E chord. My E chord is in an E blues. I'm kind of going to an A, but if you look at what I'm doing here, I'm just flattening out everything, kind of. And I'm really trying to be careful not to just hit the high string. It's actually muted, sort of. It's like Mystery Train by Elvis. And a million other tunes. And in that particular one, in Mystery Train, for instance, we can add in a hammer-on from my G to the G sharp on the E chord. So in a way, we're going from the 1 chord to the 4 chord, E to A. Though I just kind of look at it more as an ornamentation on the 1 chord, but it really is kind of a 1 to a 4. Now on my 4 chord, this is where we can do the same thing. Now if you take a closer look at that chord, I'm going to bar my A with my first finger, and I'm going to be careful not to get that high string. And I'm going to put down my third finger on this F sharp, still keeping the A, and then my second finger comes down on a D. So it almost looks like a B minor 7 chord, but we're going to put the A in the bass. And it is actually a D chord with A in the bass. So we're going to our 4 chord of our 4 chord, right? So we're on A, and a 4 chord of A is D. Like I said, it's more of an ornamentation, though. Keith Richards kind of sound. Right? So that's a cool thing to do on your 4 chord. And we can do the same thing on the 5 chord, but we drop the root. And here I kind of fudge that downbeat, like 1, 2. And I kind of just don't put a root in the bass. I could, kind of hard to get to, so I just do. So I'm dropping that first note, da 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 da. I'm just gonna go. So once again, I'll do the 5 chord. Now, you can put all those pieces together into a solo blues just like that, or meaning like you're playing both the parts at the same time. Or if you're playing with another guitar player and he or she is doing, I would do, while they're to the answer to their thing. Then. Right, so you can put the pieces together into one solo, or one piece you're doing by yourself, excuse me, or you can play off what somebody else is playing. And that classic turnaround is basically pretty simple. Think about an E7 chord, first one you learned. We slide that up to the 4th fret, meaning your first finger on the 4th fret. Hit my low E string. So I'm going to hit the 5th string, which is the D note, and then the 3rd string, which is the B. Then I hit my open E string. Move that down chromatically to the B7 chord. So now it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me put that all together for you. Okay, well I forgot to do the turnaround there, but you know where the turnaround would go. So from the 5. Now just a little little quicker look at that turnaround. I can play the open B string too. It's kind of like what Clapton plays in I'm So Glad. Something like that. Okay, so this is a fun thing, like I said, to do. If you're playing a blues, you want to spice it up. You can play both those parts together, or if somebody else is doing one of those parts, you can play the opposite to help accentuate it. And this stuff, for me, really comes from a lot of Jimmy Reed stuff, where he would have 2 or 3 guitar players putting together the tune. And so now we can put all those pieces together and have a really great, solid rhythm guitar part. So I'll play you out. I'm Jeff McErlain. If you like what you see here, please subscribe to my channel, and check me out at jeffmcErlain.com. Thanks.